All right, hello, hello, hello. How's it going there, CG? How's it going there, Sergeant? Hello, guys. How are ya? All right, good. So let's go ahead and get moving here. Shut off track IR for the moment. I actually want to test something real quick. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Just testing something. All right, good. Let's go. Turn off track IR for the moment. Okay. Let's go cold and dark on the airplane. All right, let's go ahead and we'll open the door. Stairs are up. Chocks are in place. Open. 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 Alright, so we'll come in, make sure the park brake is on. That is. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll do origination checks. Actually, we're going to be doing safety checks. So, circuit breakers, we check them on the walk-in, are behind us and closed. Nose wheel steering switch is off. Hydraulic pumps are off. Landing gear lever is down. Flap spoiler 0. Slats flaps 0. Radar is off. AGG manual release is stowed. Emergency flap lever switch is normal. Battery master is coming on here. Alright, battery master is on. Alright, let's go get the APU going here. So let's open the door. We want to check. We should be APU in bite. SOV valve open. Door is open. And the symbology there. Let's crank the APU. Here comes the APU. A spooling. Go ahead and we'll put the IRS and nav. Nav and nav. Alright. I should have run a fire test. I did not. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Should have run the fire test already. Emergency equipment is good. Pins are good. Airplane documents are checked. 3A will come on after the APU spool. Let's go to the electrics page once that comes all the way up. Alright, 100%. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll go AC on and recirc fan. Electrics page AC, that's good, taking the load. Electrics page DC, that's taking the load. We have enough voltage. I should have checked it before for voltage, but that's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's get rid of this bullshit here. Let's go ahead to performance. We'll get plumbing here. So let's go to 70 on this. Alright, 70 pastures there. Alright, good, 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 good. Let's set all the V speeds in there for flaps 8 takeoff. Alright, position in it right there. We're taking off of KMCO Orlando. Alright, next page, we're going to grab GPS 1. Go to the previous page, input GPS 1. Alright, good. That's in for the IRS. Let's go to flight plan. We're going from KMCO. Alright, we're going to KRDU, Raleigh-Durham. RDU. Alright, let's see. We're taking off of 18 left. Alright, 18 left. 475. Alright, no alternate. We don't need it. Weather's above minimums. Alright, let's go to perf init here. 70 passengers. Let's go into the packs. Cargo, let's look. 1075, 1075. Going to cargo. Fuel weight is going to be 8798. 8798, right there. Bingo. All right, VNAV setup. We pretty much just go through VNAV setup. It's what was that? Cruising altitude. I do need to put that in. Flight level 350. All right, that's in. Perf init. We're back to perf init. We're good there. All right, index. I don't need to really change anything on the index here, so I'm pretty much good on that. Let's go to departure arrival. Taking off runway 18 left. I wrote it down. It's Danny 3, double D Danny 3. They have 1. I don't know why it's different in here than it is in IRL, but it is. All right, that's in. All right, we can go ahead and we'll go to departure arrival again. Arrival, we're going to be going 5 left, and we're going to be doing the DMSTR. Why don't I see that, though? Shit. Why don't I see this, though? DMSTR2 on a 5 left. Why do I not have that? 5 left. Shit. Am I gonna have to screw with this? I hope not. Why? Let me look up. We gotta bring up Raleigh. I don't know why it's being funky, but it is. Just checked it out. Let me see. I actually have it on the thumbnail here. Yep, the DMSTR2 on a 5 left. So it's literally in the game. I don't know why it does that. Let me see. Alright. DMSTR2. It's an RNAV. Okay, yeah, it's fine. I don't know why that's being weird. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't know what the deal is, why this isn't working. Let me see if I can find it again. I don't know why. Alright. Yeah, next page. Yeah, see, I don't see it. What the hell? What the fuck? Like, literally, it's in the it's in the game. Why is it not here? How the hell am I gonna do this without it? Might have to enter it in manually here. Let's see what the... Quickly look at the flight plan, or at the VFR map here. That's friggin' weird that it's not in there. Yeah, this is it right here. Chowder, like right here is Chowder. I don't know what the deal is here. Off Chowder. I could put in the rest of the points, so I am doing a star. I'm doing the DMSTR2. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that, but all right, we'll put in Chowder. Chowder. All right, let's go ahead and we'll execute that. Let's go to the legs and check all the legs. Vectors to UK. We gotta check the departure on this, so let's duplicate that. We'll go through this. Brief the departure while we're here. How's it going there, Aaron? Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm gonna take part in Alistair's challenges. It's a long way off the end of that challenge. I get gung-ho in the beginning, and then it takes a while. So I think it's like a month long, and it's a pretty simple challenge. You should be able to get most of it banged out in a day. So kind of not wanting to start too early. All right, what are we doing out of here? We're doing the D-Danny 2. D-Danny 2, right? See, it says 3 here, and it's 2 in game, which is weird. I don't know why they're always different. Alright. It actually should be the other way, I think. Nope, that's right. Alright. D-Danny 2. So we're going to actually be going south here. Taking off of 18 left. Going down here. Let's see, anything else on here that I got to worry about? Is there 2 pages on D-Danny 2? There is. D-Danny 3, rather. Oh my god. 2, 3, whatever you want to call yourself there, guy. Alright, so taking off of 18 left, climbing, heading 185, then intercept course 140 to cross Cappy at 1,500, then track 140 vectors to UK. So it's got a bunch of vectors in here. I'm not going to screw around too much. I'm just going to have us go... Yeah, we're going to be climbing, and that's runway heading. So it's runway heading, intercept the course 139 across Cappy above 1,500, the track 140. So I'm just going to go... we'll see how this looks. See how this looks, and then I'll see what I have to do to put in the box. This happens so fast that it's like you really don't have to worry about too much. Because we're going to be coming, essentially... Coming off the runway here, and then we're going to go right to Cappy. And then, I don't say Uke. Uke's probably this right here, I would say. So I think we're good. I'm just going to go ahead and we will... Where the hell is Uke? Let me see. Next page. D-Danny. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, D-Danny's there. Looks weird to me. Alright. But whatever. 185. Okay, the vectors are all in here. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll take OK. We'll just get rid of that discontinuity. there, D Danny, and then we got to put in the rest of the legs after D Danny. So we've got Z-A-L-E-N, Zalen. All right. Wapner. Wapner, because I don't have the airways, and they don't have a VFR, or an IFR chart on this, rather. Jevid, and that's kind of nice. I like putting them in. Jevid. Alright. Jevid. Royko. Talon. Coney. Werfel. Pedo. Jerdy. Etby. Let's see. What the hell? There's Chowder there. All right. D. M. S. T. R. Okay. What the fuck did I spell wrong on that one? D. M. S. T. R. DMSTR. Okay, why do you not know what Demister is? DMSTR. Alright, it doesn't like it, so we will ignore it then. Alright, we got Malnar right after it anyways. M-A-L-N-R. Malinar. Alright. Nigel. Alright. Autos. And then Chowder. Alright. Alright, flight plan's in. That will work for us. Let's go to get rid of that nonsense. I don't want airports on there. Alright, that looks good. Let's keep going through checklists here. Where did that go? Did I accidentally close down the origination checklist? No, I put it up here. I gotta move it to the other thing here. Too many windows already. Too many windows. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's see. FMesh initializations complete. Cabin inspection, walkarounds complete. Internal, external pre-flights and checks, pedal set, crew oxygen masks. We'll go ahead and we'll do that. So it's a new mask. Alright, mask test is complete. Let's see. Audio warning. I'm not going to worry about electrical power check. Fire detection. Should have checked it already, but it's going to come up. And then it's got to be on status page to run the test. But fire test is good. Let's see. External light panel check. Fuel panels check. Bleed air's. I'm just going to look at them here. That's all I need to do. Bleed air's good. We'll get probes going here. I'll set those to low. Alright, let's see. Bleed air panels check. APUs is good. Start panels check. Hydraulics panel. Okay, I gotta go 3A on hydraulics. Let's check 3A on hydraulics panel. Where you at, guy? Hydraulics 3A. 3A is connected. 3000 PSI. That's good. ELT arm reset. Emergency lights can come on. Let's see. Air conditioning panel check. Ice detector test. We're not going to worry about. Windshields are low. Emergency lights are armed. Standby compasses check. Stall test. Let's do that. First flight of the day. Stick shaker and pusher. That's checked and all set. Let's see. Nose wheel steering switch is off. Clocks are set. EFIS controls is checked. Instrument panels checked. ICAS and standby. Instruments checked. Anti-skid test. I'm not going to worry about. Landing gear overheat test, not going to worry about. Upper pedestals checked, thrust over quadrant is checked. Avionics check trims. Let's get our trim set here. So let's go ahead. 7.9er. Let's go to flight controls. Let's go 7.9er. 7.9er. So trims are set. Yaw damper. We'll engage yaw damper. So stab trim. Yaw damper and mock. That's all set. All right. Lower pedestal check. Passenger signs. And we're going to put in landing elevation. Passenger signs for the boarding. That's good. Landing elevation. Let's see. What is Raleigh? Let's see what Raleigh is. I got to pull up the airport diagram for Raleigh. How's it going there, Alistair? What's happening? Touchdown zone elevation is about 4. Well, we'll do it off of 5 left. 367. So we want to try to do this here while I'm. It's kind of hard to see this one. It's right here, so I can't really see that while I'm up here scrolling. So get it as close as I can. Doesn't really matter. We'll depressurize if we touch down anyway. Once we get weight on wheels, we will touch down. We will depressurize. So. I'll go a little bit more on that. Your eyes can't focus like they can IRL. You can easily spin that knob and just sit in your seat like a normal person and see it, but game is tough. Alright, so that's close enough. Alright, landing elevation is set. Let's see. Alright, boost pumps. Let's put the boost pumps on. Alright, altimeters, let's grab ATIS. Good time for that. I'll check chat in a second when we taxi out. Look at this guy. I didn't notice him before. See, he was tipped to the side. That's good. Look at him. Good. Went flying early this morning. Had a nice nap.
Temperature 29er. 2.10. Altimeter 30.00.
3 0 0 0.
Runway 17 right, visual runway 18 left, and ILS runway 18 right in use. Landing and departing runway 17 left, runway 17 right, runway 18 left, and runway 18 right.
We're running all the runways.
Aircraft say direction of flight.
I can't see it in here.
Hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have echo.
Echo. We've got the echo. All right. Pick up our clearance.
Orlando clearance delivery, Endeavour 475 IFR to Raleigh, ready to copy.
Endeavour 475 is cleared to Raleigh Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 left climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119er decimal 4 squawk 0314.
0314.
Endeavour 475 cleared to Raleigh Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 left climb and maintain 10,000 feet.
0314 is in.
Departure on 119er decimal for squawk 0314.
Alright, altimeter set, FMSR is set.
Read back correct.
Radios in.
Contact ground on 126
I know.
decimal 4.
Okay. Quiet. Shh. ATC. Shh. Alright, altimeter set, FMSR is set, radios and nav 8 set for departure. Takeoff briefing is, we'll be taking off of runway 18 left. We're going to be expecting to go runway heading. Then we'll just put it in nav mode and we'll take off there. If we have any issues, we'll, if we have an emergency before V1, we'll stop on the runway. If we have an emergency after V1, we'll continue, we'll come back, and we'll expect vectors for landing. We can take any of the runways. 18 right, 18 left. 18 right will probably be our choice if if we lose the engine immediately. If not, we'll come back for the other side. APU and electrics on board, check papers on board, takeoff data set, doors. All right, let's go ahead and start closing them up. So this will be the point where you're getting the gate agent to do everything and get out of here. All right, let's go ahead and we'll go to aircraft. Let's pull the chocks. Let's go ahead and start closing galleys and whatnots. And let's put the stairs all the way closed. Let's go ahead to the door panel. We're all greens. Doors are closed. There's the flight attendant talking to the peeps. Beacons coming on for the push. Fuel pumps and quantity. Fuel pumps are on. Let's go to fuel. Checking, verifying fuel quantity. 4,330, 4,385 on that side, and 30-degree temperature on the fuel. That's all good. Hydraulic pumps, let's turn them all on. All right, parking brake, we're going to leave that on, and we're ready to go here. Quickly run a checklist here. Origin checklist complete. 4-star checklist. Passenger signs on. Landing elevation is 360 and change. Altimeter is 3000. Set checked. FMS set checked. IRS is aligned. Nav. Radios and nav aids are set. Takeoff briefing is complete. All right. Clear to start. We'll go through that. Device is off. APU is on. Electrics are checked. Takeoff data is set. Doors. Close and lock beacon is on. Fuel pumps and quantities we just went over. Hydraulic pumps are auto on. Parking brake is going to be off as we push. All right, we're going to push. Let me get track IR back on. And I'll do chat in the air. All right, let's see. Ground services. Pushback.
Orlando Ground, Endeavor 475 requesting pushback.
Move back in my seat a little bit here.
Request accepted.
We get aligned. There we go. All right, we're going to go to the status page here. This truck still has got me wigged out. What is he doing? All right, there we go. All right, let's start one. One is spooling. What was this? Yes, that's, we just got inboard spoilers there. All that is the hydraulics are not going to them yet, so that's why they're doing that. I didn't mean to go press toga. I did. I can't see what I'm looking at. Okay, we're good now. I want to impress me too deep in the alley. We're gonna be blocking the travel road here, but I don't care.
Endeavor 475 request to end pushback received.
Right, park brake set. I lean forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures.
All right, let's go ahead and start 2.
During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head. If there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation of the aircraft, the walkway emergency lights will display to the exits, which are located here and here. In case of an extreme emergency landing,
Give it some fuel. Give it some fuel. There we go.
which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head. We would
Trying to
also
see what
like to
that's
remind you that
doing.
you should turn off all electronic devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
There we go. I had to reset the flight director. It didn't like it when I accidentally pressed toga. What? Are we in a hung start? We are. We just had a hung start. What the fuck are we having a hung start for? Stand by. We just had a hung start. So, all right. If you had a hung start, so we just had a hung start here. So, yep. N2 here is down to nothing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry motor. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spin it. And so what happens is we blew a bunch of fuel into that engine, and it's we need to blow the fuel out. So you're just evaporating the fuel essentially, because there's a procedure for it. You go through a checklist. I don't have a checklist, so I'm just gonna dry motor it for a little bit. And we'll start it up again. I must have tripped something that it didn't like. Go. All right, so you want to watch for a hung start. Hung start, I've only had one once. Go to start the engine, and essentially it doesn't light off. All right, this is better now. We're up into 50. All right, we got a full spool on that one. All right, good. So let's go ahead and cross feeds off. We'll go ahead and we'll stop the APU. And we'll shut the door on the APU. That's good. All right. And I think we don't need 3A. I cannot remember. I'm going to try running without 3A. Look at the hydraulic page. We'll make sure everything's going all right here. Before we shut off the APU, what we really would do is we'd check, make sure both engines have all the systems on AC and DC. Thought I clicked the button, did I not? Make sure they're all taken care of, and then we'll go ahead and we will check hydraulics. If I could find it again. Eventually, I don't remember where it is. Hydraulics right there. All right, you can see the... okay, so yeah, it's... 3A looks like it has to be on. Yeah, so let's leave that on. All right. That's fine. All right, so now all the hydraulics are taken. All right, good. Let's go back to the status page here. All right, status page. Let's check after. Let's see. Fuel cross feed. Check valve tip. That's complete. All right, Gen 1 and 2 auto. Bleed valves are auto on. Hold on, I got to fix my view. I keep going between track IR and not track IR. It's driving me nuts. All right, anti-ice is going to be off. Probes are on. Electrics are checked. Rudder, nose wheel steering. Let's go ahead and arm that so we can actually steer this sucker. Flaps. Let's put the flaps down to 8 for takeoff. All right, flaps are 8. Flight controls. Let's go. We can check them on the taxi out, but I find it easier just to do it now. All right, let's go. Flat. We have to wait till we get the hydraulics going, so we need the engine started to be able to do that. Trims are green, 7.9 thrust reversers. Let's arm those up. I did put a thrust reverser keybind. We'll see if that actually works. Flight instruments checked. FMS is auto-tune. I already checked the brake temp is checked. Let's see, lights and strobes. We're going to be good. That's all before takeoff checklist. All right, let's check the actual checklist here. After start checklist. Electric check, bleed valves, auto packs are on. APU is off. Anti-ice is going to be off. Nose wheel steering is armed. All right, let's go ahead and we'll call for taxi. I'll catch up with you guys in a second.
Orlando ground, Endeavour 475 with Foxtrot ready to taxi IFR.
What is going on with my mouse? This fucks up my track IR.
Echo 4, Echo 2, Echo 3, Bravo 6, Charlie, Bravo 2, Bravo, Bravo 1. Contact tower on 118.
That's quite the taxi instruction, isn't it? Echo 4, Echo, Echo 2, Echo 3, Bravo 6, Charlie, Bravo 2, Bravo, and Bravo 1, 1845 when ready, thanks. What the fuck, taxi instruction? Let's get the, I'm gonna get the map out and see how different it is in game to IRL. So let's go ahead and we'll look at that. All right, let's go ahead and we'll grab that. All right, so we are currently, let's zoom in. I'll show you where we are. We are up here. So Echo 4, Echo. Let's see, Charlie, which is across. Bravo. Bravo, and we're going all the way up to Bravo 1. So that's where I thought we'd taxi. So we're going to go left, Echo 4, Echo. Cross Charlie, it should be Bravo. Let's verify what the taxi instructions are. So Echo 4, Echo, Echo 2, Echo. See, that would not be in there. Echo 2, Echo 3, no. It would be Echo 4, Echo. Yeah, this is all wrong. So it would be Echo 4, Echo. Bravo, Bravo 1. That would be the entirety of the taxi instructions. So it gives me a bunch of superfluous nonsense in game that you would not get IRL. So let's move all that over for myself to see. We'll see how much I can talk to chat whilst I taxi here. All right, park brakes off. All right, let's go ahead. Yep, we have problems here with... Yeah, there's no dead zone area to fix this. I might have to do it in my joystick software. Let's see, who have I not said hello to? Hello, Alistair, how are you? Yep, had a flight and a nap. It was a good flight. It was an early morning flight. I'm trying to get my instrument efficiency check done. So we did some holding, which in the airlines holding is a hell of a lot easier than it. Well, it's not this hard. It's less complicated in a jet like this because you just put it in the holding page and you just enter in the info. You don't have to actually do it manually. Well, we did a couple instrument approaches and some holding. It was good. All right, so Orlando's kind of neat. These bridges here, like when you're driving in, here, the airplanes go over you on bridges. Wow, look at the ground. Hopefully we don't damage anything. I don't think we can damage. Look at that truck driving. This airport's weird, man. In game, look at them driving across just everything. So this bridge here, you can see there's a. Wow, this is all screwed up. See how he drives through the barricades over there, and he comes up here. This airport's a zoo, man. So IRL, there's roads that come. There's the highways over there, and you come in, and you go underneath this bridge that the airplanes operate on. And so you'll see airplanes taxiing above you, and you go under the airplanes to connect the two sides of the airport. That's funky. So, that's weird. Hopefully they fix that someday. But yeah. Yeah, that taxi instruction is absolute ass. It just doesn't make any sense. So we're currently, so Echo 4 was how we got from the terminal to this taxiway here, which is Echo. They don't call out each Echo that you pass. It's not like, hey, you're passing this and you're passing this. That's what the game does. That's not real. They would say Echo 4 Echo, Bravo, Bravo 1, hold short of runway 18 left, contact tower. That would be it. So it sounds worse than it is. They wouldn't tell you all that bullshit. Like if they needed you to hold short of a taxiway, they would tell you, you know, it would be Echo 4 Echo, Bravo, Bravo 1, hold short of 18 left, and hold short at Charlie. You know, something like that. If they need you to hold short of Charlie taxiway. And then Florida's all retention ponds because it's all of like 20 feet above sea level. So they have retention ponds everywhere. Alright, that is still Echo 1. So it's four terminal buildings at Orlando here. Alright, this is Charlie. We're gonna pass Charlie as palm trees. And we're gonna go to Bravo. The next turn here is Bravo. You can see there, see the B with the arrow. That tells us where we're going next. And we're gonna turn on Bravo. And we go all the way down to the end here, and then this is our runway right here on the left. We just take off from the end of it to do 18 left. Like, taxi's not too bad. Even at these big airports, not that much instruction. Again, the thing is, have the diagram in front of you, and you solve a lot of your problems doing that. Got a little bit of weather. You can see this boomer here, this big cloud there full of water. It's dark. I don't see any behind us. When we get on the runway, if there's a big boomer like that, we might, you know what, we'll throw the radar on right before takeoff. Now it's, oh shit. I just covered the track IR with my coffee. Try to go around it. So if you look here on the sign to the left, you can see in black it says Bravo. That means we're on Bravo. So I guess let's kick on the radar, see if I see anything. Yeah. Try not to run into shit. So there's a big cell right there. I don't see anything yet, so I might have to tilt it up, and I don't want to screw with the radar right now, but if I tilt the radar up, we'll probably hit it. Let me get a little tilt on it. Here, let me go positive tilt on the radar here. See if we can't paint that boomer there. Essentially, you just tell ATC what you need. You tell them we need 10 degrees right for weather. And then usually what they'll do is they'll say, you know, you can deviate at your discretion if you can. If there's plenty of space and there's not a lot of airplanes around, you can deviate at your discretion. Oh, what's that? It's Juliet. All right, just checking. You can deviate at your discretion, so you just kind of work your way around the thunderstorm, and then when you need to, you get back on it. Oh, don't need to be taxiing this fast. Airspeed indicator really should not be showing anything. What is this guy doing? Hey, I'm a walking here. What is this guy doing? What are you doing, sir? Wardoon, 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 Wardoon. You can see the run-up areas there. They have the deflectors. All right. All right, this should be Bravo 1 right here, I believe.
Gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
We're not clear for takeoff. You're premature there, lady. All right, 18 left. You can see it on the ground there. If you look, it says Bravo 1. So the taxi instructions were Bravo 1. 18 left, hold short. We're going to hold short. All right. Go ahead here. You see Bravo 1 right there. All right, let's go tune to the tower. And we'll go ahead and we will go... trying to remember how. Let's go to 1. All right, that's good. All right, we have no ICAS messages except should be passenger signs. Let me just quickly check here. Main cross flow is shut off. Seatbelt signs. That's all good. All right. All right, we got the reversers are armed. All right, let's go ahead through a before. We'll go through taxi as well, but flaps, slats, 8, flight controls free and correct. Trims are 7.8 and in the green. Thrust reversers are armed. Flight instruments checked. Brake temp is checked. For takeoff, lights and strobes will come on. Fuel cross flow is going to stay in manual. Flight attendant's already been advised. Transponder TCAS is on and set. Radar terrain display is going to be off, and CAS has been checked. All right, good. So now we can call.
Orlando Tower Endeavour 475 at runway 18 left, ready for departure IFR to Raleigh.
Endeavour 475 altimeter 30.00 wind 107 and 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 18 left.
Clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff
Cleared on
runway
final.
18 left, Endeavour 475.
Go to the left. We have a boomer up there. We might hit that with the radar. All right, so what I'm going to do here is when we get centered on the runway, we have that first vector of 185. We're going to end up just putting it in nav mode, and I'll fix nav mode when we get in there because we have a bunch of stuff on the star. I'm sorry, on the departure that's going to for vectors. All right, so we come onto the runway, press toga. See the flight director goes up. We're in takeoff mode. We're going to push it forward till we go into the detent for toga. Thrust set thrust set. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gears coming up. All right. Select speed. If I can find speed, nav, autopilot. We're gonna come into the climb.
475 contact Orlando departure on 119.4.
All right, I gotta fix this. Let's talk to Ding Dong before he has a fit.
119er decimal for Endeavour 475. Goodbye.
All right, set the heading bug. 140 was the heading that we want, so we're gonna go into heading mode.
Orlando departure Endeavour 475 is at 2,400 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Endeavour 475 Orlando departure altimeter 30.
Now it just gives me continue to nappy, which I have to put in. K-A-A-P-E. So let's try it. I might just take that right out. We'll see. K-A-A. P-E-P-E. P-E. Let's try that. See where that is. See, it doesn't know the leg. So what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna do heading out, and then we'll fix it later. Because I tried it before and it didn't know that point. So, all right, flaps coming up. Flaps probably should have been up already, but it's not a big deal. All right, now we're gonna go speed, and I want to go 200 on the speed. So that's gonna drop the nose a little bit, gain a little speed. So here we have a little bit of a thunderstorm, but it's not, doesn't look too nasty right now. Like they will look nasty. Florida knows how to make nasty thunderstorms. All right, so we're on that heading now. We're just gonna go direct UK. Oh Christ, I gotta click this too to clear it out. Some of these you hold it will clear, some they don't. Alright, so now we're gonna just go direct UK. Alright, we're back in nav mode now. Alright, let's see if I can play with this radar. Let's see.
Endeavour 475, contact Miami Center on 124.1.
24-1.
Going to 124.1.
There's a little bit of a boomer over there. I'm not seeing a paint on it yet. Maybe not 24-1. There's 24-1 right there.
Miami
All right,
Center
9,000
Endeavour
for
475
10,000.
is at 9,300 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Endeavour 475 Miami Center altimeter tree 0.00
D.
radar
Danny.
contact. Continue to Danny. Endeavour 475 climb
210.
and maintain flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210 Endeavour 475.
210. I'm gonna take off crack IR. All right, there we go. All right, spin this for 210. We're going to D, whatever he said. He said to Danny. I don't know what it's actually called. All right, so I took that Oofery or whatever. These fucking names are always brutal. I love it. All right, let's go put the nose down at 250 above 10. Climb out speed mode for a little while. We'll switch over out of speed mode. Yep, perfect timing. It's coming for takeoff. All right, let's fix the fuel cross feed, and we'll run a checklist here. All right, fuel cross loads auto bleeds and APU are set. Lights and pasture signs. Let's fix the lights here. I didn't get to those yet. Nav beacon strobe. Logo doesn't have to be on, but it's not a big deal. Let's ping the flight attendant through 10,000. Thrust reversers can go off. The arms on them. And then we just have crew alert system we want to check. All right, good. That's all we have there. We'll run the checklist. That was the flow, and then we run the checklist. So fuel cross feed is to auto bleeds and APU are set and off. Thrust reversers are off. CAS has been checked. Not getting anything on the radar, so we might as well just shut it off. It's all below us anyway. We're above everything now. Nothing, like usually a bad thunderstorm has real high vertical development. It'll be real tall. Go up to like 65,000 feet. Nothing really going on. Convectively. All right, so we start getting rid of, I'll leave D. Danny up, and then we can get rid of some of the other stuff I don't need. Yeah, I still don't know. We're supposed to be doing the Delta Mike Sierra Tango Romeo 2 arrival. It is not in the box, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but I manually put it in. All right, so we're coming through flight level 180. So we can go ahead and we're going into class Alpha. Go ahead and click off and set all these to standard. All right, standard altimeters are set all around. Pretty typical Florida cumulus all across the entire peninsula. And then over the water, thins out. 310. That's a mandatory readback. You gotta read back all altitudes. 310. And you repeat that. Both pilots will repeat the altitude, so make sure you don't put the wrong altitude in there because people have crashed into mountains not doing that right. Plus you violate, and it's not good to violate your altitudes. You can fill out a NASA report, but it's better if you don't have to. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to vertical speed mode now, and I'm going to go to about, let's go down to 2,000 feet per minute. Let ourselves speed up a little bit. We're in the flight levels, we might as well start speeding up. Yeah, this is kind of, this is the way Florida weather usually works. If you look here, that's the coast. You can see it right here. See the coastline is like a line of coast where you can tell by the clouds. See how the clouds are all inside on the peninsula? So what happens is the water in Florida stays damn hot. It stays in the 80s. Like the water temperatures in the 80s. And so during the morning, right, because it's been dark all night, the land is cool and the water is warm. And so the water will start to push up warm, moist air and create clouds over the ocean. So you notice now there's no clouds really over the ocean. They're all inland. And so in the morning, the clouds are over the ocean and nothing is inland. Typically, of course. And then what happens is as the sun beats down on the land, it warms up the land. And the land becomes hotter than the ocean. And so then the air will rise and it will start to pull the clouds in from the ocean, and the clouds will migrate into the land. And they will start to rain, right? Because they've been sucking up water from the ocean all morning. And so all those clouds start moving inland and rain on Florida. So, you know, we used to flight, you know, I used to flight instruct in Florida, and so, you know, around noon, we would expect thunderstorms around noon. Once the thunderstorms have rained themselves out around early afternoon, all that water has been dumped on the land, and the clouds start to fizzle out a little bit. And then the sun's beating down on the land, making all that fresh, all that new water that's on the land evaporate and go up and build new clouds. And so this time of day, it's about 4 p.m. Florida time. You notice we've got all these clouds over the land, and we don't have much over the water. And so what's happening is all that water is starting to go back up into the clouds. And then what's going to happen at night, typically in Florida, is now as the sun goes down, the land starts to cool, and the clouds will get pushed out over the ocean, so all the clouds will head out towards the ocean. So it's kind of interesting. Florida's weather is neat. So, especially as flight instructors, we couldn't have, especially private pilot students, in thunderstorms all day, so it's kind of like certain times of the day it was kind of hairy to fly. And, you know, private pilots can't be in clouds, so kind of had to go under them. Had to play games of that, but very interesting, Florida's weather. But you could set your watch to it. So where do we go out of here, Orlando? This here is is that Kennedy? That looks like that Kennedy Space Center. I can't see from here. No, I forget what airport that is. No, that's not Kennedy. Kennedy's further south. I can't remember what this airport is. Let me look and see if I can see on the map. I think that might be the military base. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, this is, let's see, what am I looking at here? I gotta be looking behind me, probably this. Patrick. Yep, that's the Air Force Base. That actually is, this is actually where Kennedy Space Center is. Coming up here, this is Kennedy Space Center, coming up on our left. That's Patrick Air Force Base. This is Titusville, I believe. No, where's Titusville? Titusville? Merritt Island. That's Melbourne. My brother used to work. Here's Titusville right here. Titusville's right here. This is where the that's the shuttle landing facility. 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 Endeavour 475.
So we'll see if we can see the shuttle launch facilities. But in an airliner on an IFR approach, you're perfectly 350. You're perfectly legal to fly over them. You're on an instrument approach. They'll tell you if they don't want you in there. Like they'll route you around, but we should be able to see it come up here. This is Cape Canaveral. That's an Air Force base. All right. I believe that's under the Air Force. Let me look, see if we can see out there. But yeah, that's Patrick. That's on the south side, and then here is the shuttle. These are all shuttle launch facilities. That is, this should be the shuttle landing right there. And then Titusville should be over here somewhere. I can't really see it. But yeah, we used to fly over these pads going into Miami all the time. You can see one of the pads right there for launches. But yeah, it's pretty neat. We used to go right over the shuttle landing facility and go right over. Especially going into Miami, you would come down to the south. You would cut across. So like if we were going to go land in Miami, we would come down across Tampa. More Tallahassee. We'd come around here. Maybe St. Pete's still too low. We'd probably come around here, cut across the pads, go down south. We would go over some of the Bahamas here, and then we would come into Miami like this. So you'd fly across it like that. But pretty neat. If you're in an IFR clearance, you can go over the shuttle pads, but you got to be in an IFR. Cannot go in there. See if I can find the. Oh, let's find Patrick. That will show me. Pick that up. Shit, I should have looked at the chart here before I closed it. We'll try to find it on AirNav. Patrick. See if it comes up. There it is. COF Patrick. Trying to see it on the sectional chart. There it is. All right, let's bring that up. Come on. The shuttle stuff's pretty interesting. So here is Orlando. We took off right here. We came out, and then we went pretty much right over Patrick. That's 340 4350. See, we came pretty much right over Patrick. I'm trying to see if it probably does not have that Danny on here. So we came over Patrick, and then we went north. If you see all this business here with the red, that's all your restricted, well, that's not really the restricted airspace. This is the restricted airspace. You can see this checkerboard. These are all terminal zones for the airports. But you can see here, this is all restricted R2935. So if you look that up, R2935. Let's see. Nope, that's Edward. If this comes up, R2935. 2935. Let's find where it actually talks about right here. Let's see, Cape Canaveral right there. This is all registered. This is not explaining it.
Endeavour 475, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.0.
340.
Going to 13 for decimal 0 Endeavour 475. Jacksonville Center, Endeavour 475, flight level 350.
Endeavour 475,
Yeah,
Jacksonville
not the
Center, radar
document I'm looking
contact,
for.
continue to WOPNR.
Hell. Wapner. We're headed to Wapner. You just verify that. He said go direct Wapner. We should already be on our way. We are. That's all we're doing is just verifying that that's where we're actually headed. Because sometimes, like, they might say go direct to Jeved. Skip a waypoint for whatever reason. Like, they might have traffic up here they want to get us away from, so move us a little bit to the right. So you got to pay attention to that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not finding good stuff on the restricted. They will but cat, no, buddy, give me a break. You can go through and you can actually look at each of the restricteds, but I'm not finding good info on it right now. But this is at R2935 is the area there. You can see how far out it goes because of all the launches. One of the bigger restricted areas there. Trying to see. So you'll see you'll have NOTAMs. If they're going to launch, you can't go in there. If you see, it says caution, if R2933, R2934, or R2935 are activated, portions of W497A or 497B may contain flying rockets or falling debris. Request status of warning area if briefed that all the R's are active. So, like, you'll know, and ATC will keep you the hell out of there. One thing we used to have to tell students was there were a couple airports we used to send students to. We would send them to Melbourne. My brother did some work down in Melbourne. I used to fly into Melbourne a lot. Melbourne's right here, and so if you look, see where the restricted airspace starts? So you have to take off of Melbourne and turn and get out of there. Patrick is right here, right? Titusville is right here. So, like, literally you coming in here and you can see all this stuff, and you got to worry about people landing at the wrong runway. So you get students, they'll see an airport and they'll just go for it. You know, people have had students trying to go into Melbourne had landed at Patrick before, and you get met by Humvees. It's not a good deal. None of my students have ever had that. But that's yeah. This is all the restricted airspace. This is the Class Bravo for Orlando. Orlando's actually got a lot of interesting airspace here. This is a VFR chart. Like, I'll bring up an IFR chart. Let me see. IFR, high alt, Florida. Let's check out high altitudes in Florida. You're gonna be annoying. I'm trying to see where usually they have a guide. They've been annoying, huh? I want to see it. Here's the guide. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to find this. It is. I gotta find the section. Let's see. Vienna 9 here. This is what I want to look at here. This picture here. That picture. That picture is. It will show you which chart you need to be on. So right here, you can see that. That's Hotel 8. So Hotel 8. High altitude. IFR chart. See if I can get a link to it. See, this is to buy it. I'm not going to buy it, but this is what the chart looks like for IFR. You can see it's like all you see is airways. Because you don't need to visually see anything, so you don't see it. You can buy them. You just, like, you buy the sections you want. Let's see, do they have H? H7 and 8 is EH USA 7. EH USA 7. I don't know if I can get them for free, that's why I'm not buying them. So. But yeah, that's what you'd have for high altitude charts. But this is all a VFR for visual flight rules chart. So like on a visual chart, you have all the, like you can see all the lakes and like what it would look like. So this is like marshland in there, which is the entire state of the friggin' place. Antennas, roads, like you literally navigate by a road sometimes. So here's the Highway 95. I've flown into Massey Ranch quite a bit. You have New Smyrna Beach. Used to do ADFs into New Smyrna. Spruce Creek is a fly-in. So people live at houses that have hangars attached to their house. And you land your airplane, then taxi your plane to your house and go in. That's Spruce Creek. Let's see. Daytona. I used to live in Daytona. Will you load up the next section of the chart, thanks? It doesn't like me being zoomed in to Daytona. There's Daytona Beach. Ormond is where I did most of my flight instructing. Like, Florida's cake for getting a bunch of stuff done. Like, you know, you could do instrument stuff really quickly out of Daytona. Take off out of Daytona, we'd head up to Ormond, we'd hold, we'd come back, do the 1-6 into, I believe it's 1-6 into Daytona. And then we'd come down New Smyrna, hit an approach there, come back for the ILS 7 left, go do an approach into Ormond, and then you get most of your approaches done. You know, so like if you were, and then Flagler is up there, so like Ormond I think is like 10 miles, Flagler was like I think 15 off Ormond, something like that, if memory serves. I used to fly Palatka a lot, and then I worked out of Gainesville, which is here. We got, this should be, what do you call it, St. Augustine? Where's St. Augustine? St. Augustine, that's Jacksonville, St. Augustine. Did they change the name? No, that's St. Augustine right there. That's St. Augustine right there. That's a cool town. Let's see. Find Jumbelair. Jumbelair is where John Travolta has his plane. Kind of a neat place. Let me see if we can find it. Plaque. This is a military operating area. MOA, military operating area. Let's find Plaque. The hell is Jumbelair? Let me just quickly check us here. We shouldn't overspeed in this. We're probably, yeah, we don't have the thrust to overspeed this. Just check and make sure we're good. Make sure he hasn't called us. Nope, we're good. All right, we're at climb. We're leveled off here rather. So we're all set here. Let's go back. Kind of look at some cool stuff. Let's see. Where the hell is Jumbelair? That's Lake City. Maybe it's a little bit north. No, I'm trying to find Ocala. Ocala's kind of hard to find sometimes. All right, Lake George is right here. Come across Lake George, up Palatka way. It's got to be down here somewhere. Here's Ocala right here. Here's Jumbelair. This is where John Travolta's plane is, which is kind of cool. Let me see. Jumbelair. So this is John Travolta's house. He has a 707 parked there, and then he has like a Gulfstream parked here. And so it's another fly-in. So they have a big-ass runway where they can land. And so if you look at the chart, if I can find it again, that's Jumbelair right here. You see it says PVT, that's a private airport, so you can't just go in there if you want. Ocala International, please. We used to go out to Ocala every once in a while. Anything else cool? There was a neat airport down here south of Orlando that had like triangle runways. Let me find it. Lake Okeechobee is a really big lake out down by Miami. Used to fly into Kissimmee quite a bit with the smaller plane. Here's Disney World right there. I used to fly near Disney World. You're not supposed to go over it anymore. They pretty much keep you away from it. I don't believe you can go over it anymore. You know, you'll see it. If you're up here, you'll see it. They call this Lake County, and you can tell, look at all the lakes in there because Florida's underwater, essentially. But look at all these lakes. See them all? That's Lake County. I see 10,000 and above. It's probably to get over for Disney there. Let's see if I can find this airport I'm looking for. It's a weird airport. I don't know what its deal was. Somewhere down here was like a triangle of runways. Kind of weird.
Endeavor 475,
Not gonna show it.
Jacksonville Center on 126.75.
2675. Yeah.
.75 Endeavor 475. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center, Endeavor 475, flight level 350.
Endeavor 475, Jacksonville Center, radar contact, continue to WOPNR.
How's it going there, Zizo? Good to see you. Oh, you live in Melbourne? Very cool. Have you seen any launches recently? I haven't seen a launch. We used to see them. I've never seen. Well, that's not true. I have seen a couple from the air when I was flying. Oh, what the hell were the name of them? Atlas. We used to see the Atlases, I think. Never saw a shuttle launch or come in. No, that's not true. I did see the shuttle come in one night. but that was from the ground. And then I saw I did see the shuttle take off. Let me see. I did see the shuttle take off when I was standing on the ramp. We were going to do a night flight, and I was standing on the ramp in Daytona and saw the shuttle taking off. But I saw it from Daytona. I didn't see it at Melbourne. Very cool. You live in Melbourne, yes. Yeah, I don't think he flies the 707 very often. It eats too much fuel. It's just more, he's an aviation nerd, which is cool. I think he takes the Gulfstream. He used to live at the Spruce Creek Fly-In, and they gave him shit for having a, I think he had the Gulfstream, a G2 then. He used to give him shit about it because it's loud, So you live there, it's fuddy-duddy people anyway, even though it's an airport. That's the one thing too, is like people will buy a house next to an airport. They'll spend there for 100 years, and then they bitch that there's an airport. It's like, dude, get over it. We don't have oodles of fuel. I didn't put in a ton for alternates or anything, so we're okay on fuel. But I didn't really stack us with excess fuel. So let's see. Kind of kept the fuel a little bit on the light end. That's one thing. Like I used to watch like new captains, and they always want extra fuel, and it's perfectly reasonable. They want extra fuel until they kind of got a hang of it, because like if, for example, a lot of companies, if these turn yellow, you have to report it. You have to fill out paperwork. It's not a big deal. You just say like, we got into the yellow fuel range because we had to go around, something like that. But like you should be planning so your fuel's still in the green when you land. The company will give you shit if you take too much excess fuel. Like if I said, hey, I want full fuel all the time, they would start to get after you because it costs, you have to burn fuel to carry fuel. So you end up, it's wasteful, You go over fuel planning. There's IFR rules. So for example, we'll actually go over them. IFR, fuel planning. All right, so we'll go directly over it here. So you're required you have to have fuel to land at the destination, to an alternate, and after that for 45 minutes at normal cruising speed. Okay, so that's generally what you need for IFR. And then if you do IFR alternate requirements, so you don't always require an alternate. 121 is landing. 121 is airlines. 135 is like corporate, and 91 and 60 is going to be for GA. So no person may dispatch an airplane under IFR over the top. We don't give a shit about. So it's a 3-2-1 rule. So 1 hour before, 1 hour after, you need a ceiling of 2,000 feet or greater and a visibility of at least 3 statute miles. So if you 1 hour before your arrival or 1 hour after your arrival, so essentially a 2 hour window around where you're going to arrive, you need to have 2,000 foot ceilings. So clouds need to be at least 2,000 feet. You need to have at least 3 miles visibility. If you don't, you need an alternate. So if you don't have those things, you would need to have an alternate so that in the event you can't get into the airport, you need to be able to go to another airport. Now, usually if you're at 135 or 121 airlines or corporate, you're not going to be going, you're not going to be going into the airport if it's below minimums anyways, or if usually, yeah, if it's at minimums, you can go in. If it's below minimums, you're not going to even try. You're going to go to your alternate, and the reason is you don't want to burn that fuel. If you were let's say some rich guy owned an airplane, you were flying for him. Legally speaking, you could go try the approach, but generally speaking, I don't think it's the best idea. If the airport's being reported below minimums and nobody is making it in, all you're doing is wasting time and fuel, and that's safety. You don't want to burn that fuel. It's better go somewhere else, land, and sit. And then the rules generally are the airport has to be above minimums, so I believe 321 again, and then you want to have a precision approach. I believe you need a precision approach at your. I believe you need a precision approach at your alternate if memory serves. So precision approach will get you down to 200 feet above the ground. Non-precision will get you like 4. So you want to make sure that you can get down low enough. So like if the clouds are at 300 feet, a non-precision approach, you'd never see the airport, you'd never make it in. If you had a precision approach and the clouds are at 300 feet, you would be able to make it in. So it depends. Generally speaking, you don't always need an IFR alternate. You know, generally in the airlines, they're going to always give you an alternate. Sometimes the alternate is the airport you took off from. So, for example, like say we're going from Chicago to Green Bay, Chicago would be the alternate. And one of the reasons is we took off out of Chicago. That means we've visually already seen the weather. We know what the weather is in Chicago. And so as long as we know the weather in Chicago is above, you know, it's above minimums, we can come back and land there. And it's close. It's like 35, 40-minute flight from Green Bay, Chicago. And one of the reasons, like, for example, we had a day we flew from Chicago to Green Bay, and Green Bay is the only place in the entire Midwest that had a thunderstorm over it. And so it was a pain in the ass because we were trying to get in there. Literally, there was a thunderstorm sitting over Green Bay, just over the airport, or right around the airport. We ended up making it in. We missed the first approach. We went in on a non-precision approach, RNAV approach. We went through some of the thunderstorm, and we didn't see the airport. And then I was able to come back and visually land it. Let me see if I can find the approach. Because, you know, we couldn't do it IFR, but we could come back visual and do it. Let's see. Raleigh, that's not okay. Oh, Jesus. Google's been really bad lately. I don't know what Google's doing. They're going to lose any sort of edge they ever had if they keep this shit up. Oh, I don't remember what Green Bay is off the top of my head. Green Bay. No. What the hell is Green Bay? You know, the other thing too is, as an airline pilot, you don't do your own flight planning. That's done by dispatch. So, you know, it's kind of nice. You don't have to do that. We'd never get anything done if we had to do all our own dispatching. Now, what is the name of this? Give me the fucking GRP. I thought it might be GRP, but I wasn't sure. GRP. Let's look at GRP. So I can't remember I can't remember the direction. It doesn't really matter. It could have been, I think it was 18, if memory serves. It's been a long time. Let's see, 18. And the approaches could have changed by then. Probably RNAV GPS 18. Let's look at that. It's probably what we're on, if memory serves. So, like, we came in, and so you see you have the lake here, and so the thunderstorm was sitting, like, right here. So we came in. Did we just get contacted? No. Okay. So we came in, and the thunderstorm was sitting right here. So we came in, and you can descend down to right here. Class Charlie. So probably like 979 feet.
Endeavor 475, contact Jacksonville Center on 120.85.
2085.
Going to 120.85 Endeavor 475. Jacksonville Center Endeavor 475 flight level 350.
Endeavor 475 Jacksonville Center radar contact. Continue to ROICO.
Right, go. Alright, so if you look here, we can go down to 979, which is about 300 feet off the deck. And so we came in. I don't know if the minimums, it probably might have been a higher minimums, or it was different when we went in there. I can't remember what changes they've made since then. And so if you hit this point here and you see the approach lights, the runway, or any of the landing environment, you can continue down another 100 feet, essentially. And difference between ILS and this. But anyways, that's generally, this is your visual descent point. So if you visually see the airport, you can descend at this point to land. If you do not see it at this point, you go missed. All right, that's this missed. And so we end up coming in. We just broke out of the thunderstorm, and we're too high. We're not going to make it. Like airlines, you can't just chop thrust and go down and land quickly. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to have a stabilized approach. You can't do it. And so what we were able to do, though, is we could call tower, tell them we can come back for a visual. And so we went into left traffic, came around like this, and the thunderstorm was right here. We could come in and land visually and make it in like that. So we just came back, went down the runway, came around for a normal pattern, and came in and landed. But our alternate would have been Chicago, so we would have gone back to Chicago if we needed to. Career build series, probably just do the I'm just gonna do the multiplayer career build series. All right, so answer Alistair's question. When you don't need an IFR alternate. So, destination airport has an instrument. Has an instrument approach procedure. The weather reports or forecasts indicate the ceiling will be at least 2,000 above the airport, at least 1 hour before or after. Visibility at least 3 statute miles. The 1-2-3 rule, as we went over already. So you don't need it if you have those. Airlines, they'll probably throw one in there. It doesn't hurt anybody to have an alternate in there. And the airlines will generally throw an alternate in there as well because they don't want you buying fuel at an exorbitant price. So, like, again, say we're taking off Chicago going to Green Bay, they'll make Chicago the alternate, one of the reasons being that we can go back to Chicago and buy fuel. They probably already pre-purchased fuel at a hedge, so they negotiate a price for fuel. They don't want you stopping at Bob's discount airport. And the other thing too is, like, say again we're going to Green Bay and we can't make it into Green Bay. If we go back to Chicago, the airline can reschedule the passengers. They can give them hotels. They can do all that. So a lot of it's service related. The other thing, too, is crews. Like, say that we can't make it into Green Bay. Well, our next leg might be Green Bay, Chicago. Well, now the crew is back in Green Bay. What is that? Okay, we're just a Coney. Flash for the next waypoint. Now the crew is back in Chicago, and the crew can make it to the next flight. So there's a lot of reasons why the airline would probably put an alternate on there anyway. Is they're essentially telling us where they want us to go next if we can't make it in. But if we can't make it in because of weather, they would have to file an alternate. So yeah, career build series. I'm probably just going to do the multiplayer career build series. That's going to be my career build series. So I don't want to have two run at the same time. So I will be getting back to multiplayer. I was either thinking of doing multiplayer or flying flight sim today. I have a flight Sunday. That's my next flight. So probably maybe do some multiplayer tomorrow. So I think that'd be good. I can't think of anything I want to build right now. So like if I'm really wanting to build something, I'm playing Captain's Workshop. If I can't think of anything I want to build, or like there's, your challenge going on, Alistair, which I'll start eventually, I'll do some workshop on that. But right now, I more want to play career, so probably do maybe a multiplayer tomorrow. Did you see the otter I put up yesterday there, Alistair? Bring up the picture of the otter. There's an otter. I believe they work for MIT doing scanning. Here's the otter. I saw the otter today as well, but it's a cool otter. And then I don't know what is that, a Cessna 421? I don't know, but that's an otter. Saw that yesterday. Not yesterday. 2 days ago? Tuesday. Yeah, 2 days ago. Saw it again today. There's some cool stuff there. Hello, hello, Mass. I'm asleep now. I didn't bother doing a weekly update. It's just, you know, I thought it was cool what the devs did. Oh, here. But the community, again, is being a bunch of shitheads, so I'm just like, I say the community. Most of the community is fine. It's just like the normal shitheads are being shitheads, so I wasn't going to bother with it. But anyways, it's funny. Reddit, too, so for the weekly update, essentially what they're doing is they're saying, hey, look at all the cool mechs people have built, even though we don't have specific mech parts. Look at all the cool ingenuity that people have done. Like, very cool. Now, could it be a hint that they want to put in mech parts? Sure. But again, that's not what they said. Read the words. But look at, like, it's cool. Like, they're literally saying, hey, look at all these cool things that people in the community have built, and then the people down in the comment section want to turn it into something negative, which just pisses me off. So I'm not even going to get involved in it. But, yeah, there's some really cool stuff, mechs the community has built. Like, that's super cool. Really cool mechs. Somebody on Reddit posted that, oh, you know, now that the devs have said we're getting mech parts, and like a bunch of people, myself included, point out they have not said we're getting mech parts. And this is how you get people hyped up. They hype themselves up and they're like, but the devs said we're getting mech parts. No, some asshole on Reddit said we're getting mech parts, and then then a bunch of people parroted that we're getting mech parts, and so people think we're getting mech parts when somebody said it who had no information. That happened with gimbal parts. Somebody who will remain nameless was like, you know, oh, we're getting gimbaled guns. They never said that we're getting gimbaled guns. They said we're getting gimbaled.
475, contact Jacksonville Center on 132.5.
325.
Good day.
132.5 Endeavor 475. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center Endeavor 475 flight level 350.
Endeavor 475 Jacksonville Center radar contact continue.
So yeah, like back at the gimbal parts update, they said we're getting gimbaled cameras and we're getting gimbaled lights, and that's what we got. So essentially, you're able to tilt and pan lights and cameras, and that's something a lot of people have been asking for, because we used to have to take cameras and put them on pivots, and you're adding more subgrids. More subgrids could be more lag, more unintended behavior, the greater likelihood that a pivot hits something and then causes phantom forces, and so they made it so that you could actually pan them without moving them, which was great. And somebody was like, oh great, we're getting gimbal guns, and it's like they literally never once said anything like that. And then you get a bunch of people who glob on, they go, oh, the devs said. No, the devs didn't say. Some dude said. And then people hyped themselves up, and so a bunch of people were disappointed when a cool update that was really cool, where they added gimbaled cameras and lights, was added. They weren't happy because they didn't get the thing that they imagined in their head. And I think that sort of hype bullshit is just like so silly, and it's why like most game developers now don't announce shit early on because of that reason. Because it's like people hype themselves up and they're always going to be disappointed because it's never going to be as good as your imagination can go, you know. And so it's like, so like you can already see it happen. It's like, Jesus, people, can you guys like not do this? Catch my jet. Yeah, I saw. I don't know if it was a decathlon or what, but I have a picture. It was a terrible picture I took today of it. I'm not even going to put it up. See if it was bad. I was trying to do. I stopped on the road as I was driving by it to try to get this picture of a decathlon on floats, and it was a bad picture. I don't even, yeah, it's like you can just barely see the top of it. It's terrible. You see. I'll bring it up. You can see it for a second. It's just an absolutely abysmal picture. I just couldn't get a good picture of it on the road here, but you can see that's it sitting on top. It could be a Citabria. I don't know the difference. This is on floats. There are a bunch of planes on floats. There are a couple of lakes around that go off of. A bunch of cool planes around. I want a Mooney is what I want. Oh yeah, yeah, brutal challenge for the other one. That's cool. Working on a rescue service for Stormworks, kind of similar to NJ's. Oh, that's cool. Oh, very neat. Yeah, that'll be cool to see how that goes. Yeah, I was watching about the what is it? Air tractor was it 802? There's one on floats they use for firefighting. I think it's Air Boss is what they call that model, with PT6. You need a lot of hours for firefighting. Like they're pulling old airline guys. They're pulling guys with 10,000 hours or more. You need a lot of hours. Like I've got pretty good hours, but it's like they're just, and it's you know it's an interesting. They're pulling a lot of military guys too. For that. We were flying holds when it was a Tuesday, and the winds were gusting to 2-1, and like winds were whipping, and it was a pain in the ass to hold. Today it was cake because it was nice, and plus, I was less rusty today as well. But it was I don't know why it just did that. I think it was doing a correction for the turn, and then it corrected back. But yeah, it was a hell of a lot easier to hold today with the winds not being annoying. What is it doing? See how the plane's acting the fool? This happens IRL. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on a heading mode. All right. And I'm going to manually fix this. This happens in real life. So like when people tell you, oh, we're going to have you know, planes that fly themselves soon, or we're going to have X, Y, or Z soon, or we're going to have self-driving cars soon. Like this is like $1 million autopilot system, and this will fuck up. It will do this in real life. So now, we used to have to do this all the time. Put it in heading mode, let it stabilize. We're going to check it here. We're going to Jerdy. Jerdy's the next one. All right, now that the plane is stable, we're going to go in and we're going to put it back on nav mode. And notice it's not flopping around like a fish, hopefully. Now it's going to put in its wind correction. You can see the wind right here. This is one of the reasons why it's flopping. See, it's 270 at 46 knots. It's got a lot of wind, so the way it made the turn was having issues trying to put in a wind correction. And so the best thing to do is what I just did. Put it in heading mode, let it stabilize, let the plane stop going left, right, left, right, left. It's like a standard pit problem. It's overshooting. You know,
Endeavour 475, contact Jacksonville Center on 124.7.
24/7. I spun it right the first time.
124.7 Endeavour 475. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center Endeavour 475.
You know, and then once it stabilizes and stops doing its weird bullshit, you put it back in a nav.
Radar contact, continue to journey.
Yeah, so that happens in real life too. Like, there's a, I don't know if I don't see it on here, but on the Embraer 145s, they had it was, what the hell was it called? PCS maybe? I can't remember what it was. So you could push this button and the autopilot would stay on, but it would disconnect it. So what it would allow you to do is, it was on this side of the yoke. You could click that, and then you could fly the airplane by hand to fix problems like that. And then when you put it back where it was supposed to be, you would unclick the button, and then the autopilot would take over. So you wouldn't have to shut the autopilot off and turn it back on. You could just, like, essentially, it was an autopilot interrupt, and you would click that, it would interrupt the autopilot, you would take over, and then you would let go of the button, and the autopilot would take over again. So it's a nice way that you could override the autopilot. Like in an emergency, if I grab the yoke and steer hard to the right, it will kick the autopilot off, and then I'll be flying. You know, it's better to click the autopilot disconnect button either here or here. If you click this one, because you could accidentally hit this with your hand, it will beep and beep and beep until you click it again. If you do this one, it will not. So if you accidentally like put your hand on here and disconnect the autopilot, it will beep to say, hey, the autopilot's not on, hey, the autopilot's not on. And if you click it again, you're saying, hey, I know the autopilot's not on, and it will shut up. If you do this one, this is more intentional, you know, so it doesn't do that. They're all safety systems so that if you accidentally like bumped up against the yoke while you're in cruise, like say you turn over here to get something out of your bag and your elbow hits the disconnect, you don't want the autopilot going off and you don't know the autopilot's off. That's dangerous, of course. So it will beep at you, and then you say, oh shit, I knocked the autopilot off, and then you would just cycle it, click it off, click it back on, and it will reinitialize it. Oh, OG parts. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can imagine that's pretty cool with them. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, again, you know, that's the thing that's important is like, you know, people think we're gonna have this automated world where there are no professionals that do it, and the problem is, how often do you have something wrong with your car? How often do you have something wrong with your airplane? If you have a self-flying airplane, if anything's wrong, that's it. You know, if you have a pilot in there with an autopilot, when the autopilot is acting the fool, you can hand fly. You know, when the autopilot does something stupid, the pilot says, the autopilot's doing something stupid, I'm going to take over. And there are many, many, many times that I can fly better than the autopilot. For example, in heavy turbulence, you do not want the autopilot on. That's dangerous. The autopilot will try to fight instead of go with the flow of the turbulence. We were going into Kissimmee one day, and we had severe turbulence, and I shut the autopilot off, and the captain was like, oh, do you want the autopilot back on? I'm like, no. And then he's like, you sure you don't want the autopilot on? I'm like, no. And he's like, I can turn the autopilot back on. I'm like, dude, why do you want the autopilot back on? I'm like, severe turbulence. We're not flying with the autopilot on. I'm gonna hand fly. And I can hand fly better because I know what I like. I'm gonna ride with the waves. I'm not gonna fight it the whole time. I know what's going on where the you know, the autopilot doesn't know anything. The autopilot is just a dumb animal, you know. There are going to be a lot of times where you're better than the autopilot. It's like, let you fly. All right, let's go ahead and we'll brief the arrival. We've got the arrival. It didn't go in, for some reason the game doesn't have this arrival. That's Green Bay. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Here's Raleigh. All right, so this is supposed to be the arrival. For some reason, it is not. It did not come in correctly. It's probably like an Aerosoft thing. It's not in the database. But this is where we're going in here. We try to find which one we're going in on. I just probably find Jerdy, and then I'll go back from Jerdy. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is not that long of a flight, so. Right here, see Jerdy, we're going in on Jerdy right now. There's Peto, Jerdy. So if we look at the arrival, here's Peto. We came in from Peto. We're going to Jerdy. Jerdy is at flight level 210. So see how there's a line above it? There's a line below it. That means we have to be at flight level 210. We want to be at 280 knots. Not below, not above. 280 knots. All right? At Jerdy. So we're expecting that. Now, whether the game is going to give us that or not, who the hell knows? So we should start planning for that. So that's why we do a brief on these things, is to get ahead of this. So Jerdy, 210, we're currently 14,000 feet above it. So if we're going to send, let's say, at 2,000 feet per minute, we want to go out 7 minutes before that. All right? We'll take a third off of that if we want to go at 3,000 feet per minute, which is probably what the game is going to have us do. Jet aircraft only. Redfin transition, ATC only. Landing northeast. which we will be using runway 5 left transit. Expect runway assignment from TRACON prior to DMSTR. So they would tell us. All right. Pretty much it. I don't think we have a... Do we have a second page? No, we don't have a second page on... I don't think we have one on Demister. Let me look. I don't think we do. Nope, we do have two. We do have a second page. Let's open it up. Let's go there. Where are we at here? All right, so here's ETBI. So we do have a second page. ETBI right here. Okay. Here's ETBI, Demister, and then I got to see which one we have. Here's landing runways 5 left and right. We are going to 5 left. So likely we're going to have to do that. Landing 5 left and fly right from Demister on a track of 015 to cross Malinar. All right, so from Demister to Malinar on a 015. At or above, so see it says above, the line is below it. We have to be above 11,000 at 250 knots. And then a track of 030 to Nigel between 10,000 and 9,000. 064 to Ottos at 6,210 knots. All right, so that's how you visually can see it on here. That's what it is in text. All right, expect ILS localizer runway 5 left and 5 right. So that's what we're doing. So this is the second page of that. That's briefed now, so I know what to expect. So I don't have to, like, it gets very busy in here if you're trying to do that shit while it's happening. Better to get ahead of it. Now that we know what to expect, if we look at the weather, weather looks good. Let's see if I can pull an ATIS off of this.
Endeavour 475, descend and maintain flight level 230. Keep speed not above 280 knots.
Here's part of it. 230.
Descend and maintain flight level 230. Keep speed not above 280 knots. Endeavour 475.
He's gonna probably screw up our descent here, so I'm gonna get us going here. Go ahead, vertical speed. Go down about 2,000 feet per minute. All right, 280 knots. I pulled the power back here because I don't want to descend. You don't want to be descending in speed mode here, so I'm going to crank this down because they're usually pretty bad at descending us. So I'm going to go down at 3,000 feet per minute. We'll watch the trend vector. I'm going to kick it up a little bit here. All right. So again, we're supposed to be at Jerdy at 210. So we still need 2,000 feet. Notice the arc. The game always descends us late. So that's why my thrust is pulled back. That's why I'm...
475, contact Jacksonville Center on 133.45.
3345.
Good day.
Going to 133.45 Endeavour 475.
So a lot of this is anticipating what he's
Jacksonville
supposed to
Center,
be giving us.
475 is at flight level 320, descending flight level 230.
So we're gonna screw up this altitude because he's screwing up the altitude. So this is the game's fault. There's nothing I can do about this. So we're gonna pull spoilers and I'm gonna keep doing this. You would not be descending at like 4,500 feet per minute, but the game is always late on descents. So like we're gonna be at Jerdy at 23,000 feet. We're supposed to be at 210. So again, we can't do anything about that. That's the game screwing up. Nothing we can do about that. IRL, that would never happen. Yeah, exactly. The robot's going to come after me. So yeah, the instruction should be 210, and it should have happened earlier. Because I've got full spoiler out here. I could dump a little bit more, but like we're not going to make 210 at Jerdy, which is what we're supposed to be doing. Just the game doesn't know what to do. Game's a little bit screwed up. All right, if you look here at KRDU, which means if we land at the airport, right, we're going to have 3,660 pounds of fuel remaining. That's our reserves. All right. So you notice because I dropped the nose down, we're all the way down to almost 5,000 feet per minute, which is insanity. You can see we're like right around 280, which is where he says max 280 is the max speed. And then I could, but I'm not going to put it in speed mode. Even with full spoiler, thrust all the way back. We're idle? Are we idled? We're idled now. Thrust all the way back. We're struggling. We're altitude capping now. That's why we're slowing down. So watch, when we hit Jerdy, he's probably going to give us 210, which is, again, wrong and late. That's 290, or, sorry, 240 for 230. And we don't want to exceed 280 knots. So again, the game has got us 2,000 feet above where we should be. Just kind of got to follow it. Can't do anything about it. He'll probably give us an altitude here in a second. Oh yeah, that's a mandatory altitude, 210 and 280 knots. So.
Endeavour 475, contact Washington Center on 135.2. Good day.
I wonder if the game just wants us to be on Washington before it gives
Going
it
to
to us.
135.2
I don't know.
Endeavour 475. Washington Center, Endeavour 475, flight level 230.
Endeavour 475 Washington Center radar contact. Continue to ETBUI.
Hit by. Alright, I never took the seatbelt sign off, but take the seatbelts, put the seatbelt, make sure the seatbelt sign is back on. We would look, we're 11 minutes out. We usually call the flight attendant like 15 minutes, tell them 15 minutes. They'd let the passengers know. We should already have a descent down to 210. Again, game's giving me late descents. So I'm going to go to the next page that we already looked at here. So at by, we want to be above 11,000 at Malinar. So I don't know when the game's going to give us the actual descent, but here's Malinar right there. We're going to be there in 4 minutes. And we got to lose, fuck, Jesus, 12,000 feet. 12,000 feet divided by 4, 3,000 feet per minute. It's not the worst, but we should already have it. They should already be giving it to us now. So we're already like, and again, they want us at 280. They don't want us below 280. So we already should be descending again, but the game is late on descents. So we just, something we know. We know to expect the game to be late. Gonna maintain 280. All right, so it's gonna auto-tune the ILS.
475, descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
There's my, okay, he actually gave it to me at a reasonable time there, so we should be able to make this.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet, Endeavour 475.
Pull the power, 11,000 feet. 11,000. All right, so we can use the descent rate on there. Let's go down. We're all supposed to be 250 knots here, so I'm going to give it a boatload of descent rate here. We'll go 4,000. We don't need that much. Let's go. So you see the arc? We can put the arc right on. We also got to drop down to 250 when we get there, so I'm going to just pull this up. This actually wasn't too bad of a descent. So we need to be above 11,000, so that's fine. We could be 12,000. We're not violating, a clearance. It's not the end of the world if we're above it because, we just can't go below it. That's the thing there. But we know that Nigel, we need to be below 10,000. And we have 6 miles between Malinar and Nigel. So got to keep that in mind. So I can just vary my... my arc here. You can do it without the arc. I know they can be there in 2 minutes. We have a ground speed of 384 knots. Divide that by 6, so 6 and change. So we say 7 miles a minute. All right, and then you got to figure that out. Right now, we are going to be from Malinar. We're 24, so let's say 3.5 minutes. So you kind of figure out the altitude distance, 3.5 minutes. Do you give me an altimeter? They should have given me an altimeter already, but they didn't. They always give me the altimeter late. We'll wait for the altimeter. Because again, we need the altimeter under 180, so that's why it flashes. So game's late on giving me altimeters as well. Yes, making plans for Nigel, indeed. All right, let's go ahead through the descent flow. All right, altimeters will be set APU will be off. Passenger lights already on. I'll flick the flight attendant here. Let her know. Seatbelts. For landing check, let's see. Prior to landing elevation is set. Fuel has been checked. Again, we see we got 3485 as expected there. Currently rocking. We're higher than that at the moment. CAS is checked. Approach briefing is complete. Landing. I haven't gone through the ILS yet. We'll go through the ILS. But we'll go through the descent checklist here in a second. I'm letting us slow down as well because we need to be at 250. Landing elevation is set. Fuel is checked. TCAS is going to be on. Radar is going to be off. Crew alert system checked. Landing data is not quite set yet. Let's go ahead and we'll set the landing speed. Set all landing speeds. All right, that's all set in. Back to checklists. Approach briefing. I'll go ahead and do a 5 left. Did I bring that up? I did not bring an ILS 5 left. Let's grab that. ILS 5 left. Okay. ILS 5 left. We'll brief that really quick. That's not the ILS. ILS localizer 5 left right there. There it is. I grabbed the RNAV by accident. ILS localizer 5 right, 5 left into Raleigh 1091-058. Runway is 10,000 feet long. Touchdown zone elevation is 384. I'm going to do the rest of the briefing off as we're starting to get ready to level here. Got to watch my speed. Missed approach. We're not going to follow the published missed. We'll come back for another one. We're above minimums. Let's see. Coming in autos. Above, let's see. Auto. Yeah, so at Chowda, we should be above 5,000. Send 4 at Booley, 3 at Shoe. 2,200 feet, we should be intercepting the glide slope. We'll ride the glide slope in. It's going to be above minimum, so we shouldn't have any issue coming in here. Decision height is going to be 598 feet. We have the required visibility, which is 200 feet visibility and half statute mile. Or 200-foot cloud level, half statute mile. I said that incorrectly. So essentially a 200-foot ceiling. We are 12,000 for 11,000. Still no altimeter. And we need to slow down as well. So you see how the arc is short of Malinar? We're already capping. So as you can see, we're already slowing. Perfect. And we're going to set our speed bug for 250. So we want to get it out of Mach mode. Get it out of Mach mode, please. And we got to go up on that. And I want 250 here. Don't go crazy there, thrust. Don't you go crazy there, thrust. Make sure I'm all checked in. Yeah, I'm all checked in. Okay. So, likely is going to send us soon. Nigel, we're supposed to be sub 10. So, we don't want to be going too fast because we need to slow down going below 10. So, there's Nigel right there. Go heading bug. All right, you see we're altitude capping now. All right, let's go start doing some landing flow stuff here. All right, thrust reversers are armed. We'll do that. That's going to be in the before landing checklist. I'll switch checklists out to before landing. We'll do that on the way, but that's part of the flow is to set the thrust reversers. He should already be what do we got? We got a minute to Nigel, and we got to lose 1,000 feet, so that's all right. That he hasn't given it to us yet, but he should be giving it to us soon. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn on track IR. All right, there we go. Fix it a little bit right there. All right, perfect. So we're just cruising around at 250. The chart says at 250. Yep, at 250. You don't want to go too slow. Like, it might say below.
Please expedite your descent 11,000 feet.
I'm literally at 11,000 feet, dude. Look at it. You have not given me a altimeter yet, you dickhead.
Endeavour 475, you are 40 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect ILS runway 5 left approach via autos transition. Clear to autos.
All right, 6,000 feet. Vertical speed. Zip, zip, zip. Throttle.
Descend and maintain
210.
6,000 feet. Keep speed not Not above 210 knots. Expect ILS runway 5. Left approach via autos transition.
on.
Clear to autos Endeavour 475.
All right, we're checking autos. We're going to autos. All right, good. So 6,000 feet's in there. I gotta increase the vertical speed. Trying to get us slowed down here. So what I'm gonna go into speed mode. You probably wouldn't go into speed mode here, but I'm gonna do it. It would be so uncomfortable as a passenger to be sitting here in speed mode. So we're gonna go down to 210 knots. See, it does some stuff you don't want it to, like lift the nose a little bit like that for speed mode. So now once we slow down, it's going to drop the nose and give us more of a descent rate. But see, we're pretty much leveled off at this point because of it. So you want to do vertical speed. But I'll let it go into speed mode because, again, we're not actually in the plane. So don't have to worry about being uncomfortable. Change our range again. Center the heading bug. All right. Go ahead, and if I look at, where are we at here? Radio. All right, looking at the ILS, if I can find it. Where the hell's the ILS? Right there. 109.1. So nav 1, it's in auto mode. It probably won't change over yet, but eventually it will change over to 109.1. All right. I'll put the FO's panel in radio for now. So we'll watch it flip. I can't see where radio is. Right there. So that will switch over to 109.1 for the ILS, and when that does it, we'll flip over on the final approach course. Still has not given me a goddamn altimeter setting. So we'll listen to the ATIS. 123.8. Yeah, 123.8. Let me see if I can get it on 2 here. One, 2, 3.8, and then I got to pull. Where is it? Radio 2, VHF 2. I don't know if I can. I don't want to switch off VHF 1.
Raleigh Airport
There it is.
information. Kilo 2000 Zulu. Wind 048 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Ceiling 5,100 feet broken. Temperature 25. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.20.
3020.
ILS runway 5 right and ILS runway 5 left in use.
Pressure's high up north, so.
Landing and departing runway 5 right and runway 5 left. DFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions.
1,000 feet to go.
Advise controller on initial contact. You have Kilo.
All right, so we have Kilo now.
Raleigh.
We'll shut the audio off. Some of those you pull out to get the audio. Some you push in. This one you push in to get the audio. So some of them aren't the other way around. All right, we're leveling off, so we got to start pushing thrust up here. I get the dead zone in my throttles here. There we go.
Endeavour 475, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
5,000. You're gonna be a last second Johnny, aren't you?
Descend and maintain.
Oh, we love it
5,000
when they do
feet.
this.
Endeavour 475.
I give you the altitude
Endeavour
less.
475, contact Raleigh approach on 127.675. Good day.
27.675.
675. Endeavour 475. Goodbye.
There's 1,000 feet to go.
Raleigh approach Endeavour 475 is passing 5,700 feet, descending 5,000 feet.
I'll check the radio page real
Endeavour
quick.
475, Raleigh approach altimeter, tree 0.20 radar contact, continue to CHWDR.
But he finally gave me an altimeter. That's how late he gave me the altimeter. He should have been giving me the altimeter a hell of a lot earlier. All right, we're going to Chowda, which is good. We're leveling off at 5,000. If you look over here on the FO's panel, I'll bring it up over here. It auto-tuned 109.1. That is the ILS. So that's automatically loaded in for us because the ILS is already loaded in the box. We've got to watch my speed here. too zoomed in. Alright, before landing, passenger signs are on. Thrust reversers, we haven't got, we're not there yet.
475, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
4,000. It's gonna give me a little step descent here the entire time that I have to answer.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Endeavour 475.
I'm gonna fix this too. There's 4,000 feet. We don't want to be late on this because we want to have a nice stabilized approach, so it's gonna go into alt cap if I go too fast with that anyway, so keep it easy. See the runway already? See the runway right there? That's 5 left, so we're visual on it already, but we'll keep it in there. All right, so we're gonna switch over from nav source. All right, we're gonna switch over to the localizer. You can see it's in blue. We're gonna switch to localizer 1. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna arm the approach. He'll probably give us one more descent here down to 2002, I'm thinking.
Endeavour 475, descend and maintain 3,000
Nope,
feet.
he's going to go all the way through. He's going to go to 3,000. Okay, that's fine. That's on the chart, actually, is 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000
fix
feet.
this
Endeavour
altitude.
475.
3,000. It's on the chart. The next waypoint is Shoe at 3,000. Airport's in sight, 12 o'clock. Just following the ILS. You can see right here, there's Shoe at 3,000. Got my arc right on it, so we'll hit it right at the right point. You want to be below the glide slope when you get a capture, or you can get a false
Endeavour
capture.
475, you are 11 miles southwest of Raleigh.
Clear us.
Contact Raleigh Tower on
Nobody's
119er
not cleared yet.
decimal tree or
Tower.
inbound.
Alright.
Tower on 119er decimal tree. Endeavour 475.
Alright, switch over the tower. He'll clear us there.
Raleigh Tower Endeavour 47510 miles southwest. Inbound ILS runway 5. Left approach.
Endeavour 475, Raleigh Tower. Altimeter tree 0.2115050 at 4. Cleared ILS
Cleared the
runway
approach.
5, left approach.
Cleared ILS runway
Alright,
5.
clear the
Left
approach.
Endeavour
Approach mode.
475.
I shouldn't have clicked approach mode earlier. But now we're going down on the glide slope. You can see the glide slope just appeared right here. Alright, there's localizer and glide slope. There's glide slope localizer on there. Alright, so ignore that last altitude. That's fine. We're going to go check performance. VREF is going to be 128. Let's set that 128. That's going to be our approach speed is 128. He'll give us a landing clearance here in 2 seconds. All right, gear's coming down.
Endeavour 475, wind 048 at 4. Cleared to land runway 5 left.
Cleared to land runway 5. Left Endeavour 475.
I'm late on gear. We're still all right, but we're still legal. But I gotta get us slowed down too. Yeah, it's gonna speed us. I'm trying to get us slowed down here. I can't see the flap here. Stand by. I gotta push the thrust up to see the flap. Go to 45, please. Thanks. All right, autopilot's coming off. I gotta fix my view. Autopilot's coming off. All right, I'm hand flying it. We'll fly it on the ILS all the way in. We're clear to land. Landing gear's down 3 green. Flaps are set. Lights are set. Before landing checklist complete. Alright, so just follow the flight director in here. I'm going to start trimming as we just did a big configuration change. Coming on speed here. Starting to come approach the glide slope. Got to make sure we're stabilized below 1,000. Got to add some thrust here. The thrust is wonky. Got to see, I got to really give it a beast of thrust to get moving here. There we go. I don't want to get too low on this. A lot of trim required in this airplane. Alright, clear to land. Used to have Antonov 124s coming out of here, which was cool. Used to fly in here all the time. Have rice and beans for a good price. It's right in our terminal. It was delicious, rice and beans. little bit high. Be all right.
400.
400 feet.
300.
300.
300.
300 again. We are still descending, you know, their game.
200.
200.
100.
100.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
All right, let me see if I can get the thrust reversers to work. Nope. All right, I did do a keybind, but it didn't remove the... It looks behind us. I can't get the thrust reversers come up. I got to try to figure out a
Endeavour
keybind.
475 exit runway when able.
We'll do there, sucker. I'll get off the next one. That was a good landing. It was right on the aiming bars. I mean, hit the brakes that hard. Used to fly in a Raleigh all the time.
Endeavour 475 contact ground on 121.7.
21.7.
Please remain seated.
So he's gonna bitch at me for not calling him in half a second.
Going to 121.7 Endeavour 475.
And we'll watch the APU of the status page. Open. Crank the APU. Lights are all coming off here except the beacon. It's daylight, so we're not going to run the nav light either. All right, now we'll call.
Raleigh ground Endeavour 475 taxi to the gate.
Endeavour 475 taxi to gate 26 via taxiway Delta
6.
Foxtrot.
All right, Delta Fox. Might miss Foxtrot here. I don't see the sign yet, so it's all right. It's one of those gates towards the end. I plugged it in for the end. We'll.
475 acknowledge last transmission.
Bitch, I am working here. Gotta leave me alone for a little bit.
Taxiing to gate 26 via taxiway Delta Endeavour 475.
Not sure which one's 2.6, so let's go in the ramp and I will see if they're marked on the ground. But Antonov 124s used to sit up there. Pretty cool to see. Got a feeling it might be this one with the push tug right there with the with all that the catering truck and everything. So I gotta try to see. I don't want to go past it. I think this is probably our gate right here. I can't see any numbers on them. They would be on the jet bridges. I think it's this one right here. We'll park here. There's marshalers here. I assume he wants us on inside line. There's 2 lines here, so he wants us. No, he wants us right. Okay. How far right do you want me there, guy? Jesus Christ. Wants me way right. All right. Yeah, I pretty much want to get those engines off ASAP. It just burns an absolute shitload of fuel. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right, APU's on, transponder up. I didn't shut the transponder off. Let's do that. Not a big deal. A lot of them nowadays, they have you keep the transponder on the ground because they can see you on the map on the ground. Light strobe probes. Okay, I'll shut the probes and windshield can come off. Probes and windshield heat come off. Clear all the bullshit there. Ding dong. All right, let's go ahead and we'll set the chocks here. And you see the gate has attached.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your
Chocks in?
personal items and
And they're in
carry-on
place.
luggage.
So brake can come off if the chocks are in. All right, fuel and check valve test complete. Now, thrust reversers shut off, seatbelts off. We'll shut these off for the people to get off the plane. Right, hydraulics. Nose wheel steering needs to come off. Alright, beacon is off. And that's it. So we're pretty much good here. We'll go ahead and we will shut down the APU. Here, let's go ahead and let's put in, let's ask for the power cart. It's right there anyway. Power cart, let's go ahead and we'll plug in the power cart. And we'll go ahead and we'll shut down the APU. APU's off, so you lose air conditioning there unless they put PCA in. I see that's in use there. All right, and then what we would do is if we're done for the day, we're going to go ahead and flip the battery off. So, pretty good flight. That was a fun flight. So, pretty good. ATC is not horrible, but like we'll go over some of the errors they made there. Like the arrival, they had some weird shit on the arrival. Coming in, where is it? Right here, they screwed up this. They had us descend down to 230. Never had us descend down to 210. It was supposed to be at 210 at Jerdy. Malinar was fine. Nigel was fine. We're supposed to be at autos at 6,000. I think we did cross auto at 6,210. Then we went on the ILS 5 left, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, and then we joined at about. I think we joined at 3,000. They never had us descend down at 2.2, I don't believe. No, they never had us descend down at 2,200. They just cleared us the approach, which is fine. Grabbed the ILS on that one. So no issues there. Good landing. Let me see if they have the gates numbered. I don't see it on here as numbered, but 2.6. Let's go ahead and check chat. Exactly. Yep, that flight worked out well. It was a good one. I like Raleigh. We used to go into Raleigh constantly. There's down this end of the terminal. There is had rice and beans, and we paid crew price. It was like $3 or $4 for a big crate of rice and beans. So it was nice. But all right, guys, if you liked the video, like the video. If you're new and not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.